everybody. My name is Susan, and I'm with Ahava Functional Nutrition. And we are here today because our mission is to create a health movement and to really let women know that there are other options with food choices and movements to really lead and step into a healthier lifestyle. And to bring people together, I have Mandy, and you have your own company,
Yes,
correct?
I have my own company called The Fit Method with Mandy.
Yes, and it's very exciting. She's local, she's in Omaha, and she focuses on very busy women, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit, what brought you to starting your own business?
Well, I had been a personal trainer working in a gym setting for about 12 years at the time. And COVID hit, and I had to find a different way of doing things because people were not wanting to go to the gym anymore. And I found I was doing a lot more online training. I was bringing people into my home, just a lot of online stuff. So at that point in time, I decided, you know what, this may be the way that things are going and I need to adapt. So that's when I decided to start my own business.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I love it. It's great. I love the freedom of it. And I've actually been partnering with another gym where I rent space, and I have brought clients into that gym's called Motivera 360 in Elkhorn. And now I am actually shifting into full-time online coaching. So
Excellent.
I'll be combining all of the things together.
Well, excellent. And I know you work with nutrition, the exercise, and hormonal balance, correct?
And sleep and mindset and all the things.
Yeah, because it gets crazy when we hit perimenopause, and women are starting to experience that weight gain, and they're starting to experience, probably more anxiety. I know I went through it.
Yeah.
So, and you're leading your expertise in helping these women.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think my goal is just to get women to think of their health as like whole. It's 360. It's not just what they're eating and what they're doing in the gym. It's how they're sleeping.
Correct.
It's how they're taking care of their hormones and their minds. And women are really busy right now. We've got kids, we've got jobs, we're expected to do all of the things. So I try to work with people to find that little bit of time for themselves to take care of themselves, because they can't do the other things if they don't take care of themselves first.
Well, and you would know because you have a couple young children.
Yes.
A preteen girl and
I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old little boy.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They are crazy. Two different stages of life.
So what brought you? So when I was talking to you earlier, you had kind of mentioned that you've always looked at your body as being a temple. Why don't you dive into that a little bit more? How did you get that mindset? Because I know a lot of people sometimes, we more focus on the outer appearance, like our hair and our nail, and not really kind of focus on what's going on inside. So how were you able to get that mindset?
Well, let's see, how far back do we
But that's great. I mean,
so through, which I think a lot of women have experienced this, but through my teen years and college, I struggled with an eating disorder. And that was back in the 90s. All you saw on TV and the magazines were girls who were rail thin. And so that was the ideal body. And so you tried to do whatever you could do to look like that.
And a lot of low-fat food.
Yes, everything was low fat.
Which is not good.
Cardio.
Yep.
Lifting was not a thing.
Yes.
You just did as much cardio as possible.
Yep.
So I was really struggling for a lot of years with just accepting my body for the way that it was.
Did you have so when you were living in that moment, I mean, you probably did not have the energy and you were probably tired, and I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't any education out there about how to eat correctly. It was just diet, eat less, low fat.
And run.
And run.
Or jumping jacks or whatever that is,
which is really sad. And I hope that what I'm doing now and trying to educate women and younger girls can help to prevent some of that. But so that was kind of how my childhood went. And then when I was in my early 20s, my dad actually developed leukemia. And I watched him just suffer with that in the hospital. And right before he passed away, he said to me, you know, the most important thing that you can have is your health. There's nothing else. Money doesn't matter. Power doesn't matter.
Right.
It's, in the end, it's your health, and that's all we have. So from there on, I just decided, you know what, I've got to focus on getting myself healthy and getting myself better. And another part of that was getting pregnant with my daughter. And I think I just started to look at my body in a different way. You know, I am creating a human, and I need to take care of myself. And I want to be a good role model and a good example for her, because I don't want her to suffer with the things that I've suffered with my whole life. So from there, I decided to get certified as a personal trainer. And I just started like taking in all of the information I could about nutrition and exercise. I just loved it. And I'm still to this day that way. I will listen to podcasts, I'll read books, just trying to learn every single day. And as I've gotten older, you know, your body changes so much. And so I think I even view my body differently now as, okay, well, first it was, how can I lift and build muscle and nourish my body so that I can do that and feel good. And now I'm starting thinking more about, what vitamins do I need to take? How do I need to sleep better? What is my mindset like so that I can feel good every day when I wake up and do the things that I want to do and be healthy and prevent disease for the rest of my life.
That's fantastic. Yeah. What made that point when you decided that I am not healthy? When did you know, like, I am not living a healthy lifestyle? Was it when you saw your dad? I mean, how did you internalize that and to make that change?
That was just like the catalyst for it, because, you know, seeing somebody die from cancer, you just kind of internalize, what are the things that I'm doing or that I can do to prevent ever having to go through that, if I can,
Sure,
you know?
Sure.
So that was the catalyst. And then I just, I wasn't feeling good. You know, I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't wake up feeling good. I didn't have the energy to do the things that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have the body that I wanted to. I still wasn't happy with my body, you know, at that point in time. I didn't have the magic formula. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So education, and I would say getting into weightlifting was probably the best thing I could have ever done, because that was when I started to view my body differently. I started to think about food or nutrition as a way to fuel myself, rather than something that I could control and restrict. It was a way that I could, you know, become stronger and get that lean muscle mass and feel good. So, yeah.
Well, and I find it interesting because women did not, society did not like it when women weightlifted.
Yeah.
And it's changing, because muscle is so important as we get older. Yeah. I mean, it is probably one of the more important things. And to, like you said, to nourish that and to fuel the muscle is important, because I think muscle loss starts happening, like after 35, correct?
Yeah.
And then when you hit menopause, it decreases immensely after that. Yeah. And muscle can help with osteoporosis and, just metabolism.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can actually help with dementia and all sorts of things.
Yes. And then it's interesting because women are not educated in this, right? I mean, as I was growing up, I'm a little older than you, but, low fat was the place to be. And so I ate a lot of low fat foods, right? And until I decided to make a nutrition change and start eating healthy fats, that was the game changer for me, because and women should not be afraid of healthy fats.
No, they're so good for your hormones.
Oh, yes. And we're going to go into that into the next episode, which, and so we'll kind of cover that. But that was a big game changer for me, and I never in the world would have thought that, because culturally it was all about low fat.
Yeah.
And that rail and that thin person, which is not healthy, because we don't have the energy, we don't have the minerals and the micro nutrients to supply our body. Yeah. And I know with the functional nutrition method. We kind of look at the body as an ecosystem and like a web. And there's a lot of things that affect it. Like you said, the mindset and the sleep. And when you're not nourishing your body, you don't get your sleep.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And probably a lot more anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you were kind of feeling back then?
Yeah. And I see that, I struggled with depression when I was going through the eating disorder, and it all just kind of tied together. And then once I could start seeing my body as, this thing that I want to take care of, treat like a temple, everything changed.
That gave me goosebumps other way, because you don't hear a lot of women talk about utilizing their bodies as a temple. And I think that is so powerful, and a powerful message that we can share with women. It's like to honor that, just not.
I know. And one of the things that I see a lot now too, I work with a lot of busy moms, and our bodies change after we have babies. They just do. And it's a beautiful thing, but a lot of people just feel so much shame, and they don't love their bodies. And I just try to re-educate them on, look at the things that your body has done. Don't compare yourself to this 20-year-old. You've created babies, and you've done all these wonderful things, and you need to treat your body with respect and give it the things that it needs to be able to take care of your family and feel good.
No, absolutely. And it's like, but culture and society is going this way. I mean, just with the campaigns and the advertisement. And it's like, okay, we're going to have to go against that.
Yeah.
Mainstream. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You probably see that with a lot of women who you work with.
There's an undercurrent of people who are educating in the right way. I would definitely say, like, listening to podcasts and getting educated that way. But mainstream marketing is pushing women, making them feel bad about their bodies and their choices and stuff. So.
Sure. And then when people come to you, I mean, they're probably at their wit's end, or they're looking like, what's the catalyst of people saying, okay, Mandy, help me? Sometimes
it's an event coming up a lot of times. So I really try to dig for their why. So that would be it, It can be they just don't feel good.
And when you say don't feel good, just can you define that a little bit?
So a lot of women going through perimenopause will start to notice a lot of changes in energy. They're starting to have anxiety, hair loss, sleep. A lot of problems with sleep, waking up in the middle of the night, or just not feeling rested, not being able to go to sleep.
Yeah. So we're not crazy, ladies. It's
not at all.
It's hormonal.
Yeah. Or the things that they were doing before aren't working anymore. So the tons of cardio, or the, no carbohydrates, and on and off again, fad diets, just nothing's working anymore. And they're continually putting on more body fat.
And that's because the body is changing, and it needs more, or just different, or why do you think that's happening?
So a lot of things start to happen.
Yeah.
We can become more insulin resistant as we kind of go through the perimenopause and menopause stages. So the way we were eating before isn't working for us now.
Our body can't metabolize it the same way. Absolutely, yeah.
Less sleep, more insulin resistance, not feeling good. You're going to want more sugar and those kind of things when you're tired.
And it's interesting because sugar lights up the brain as a pleasure.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're looking for that to just like soothe.
Yes.
Another big thing I see with especially women is the drinking, like wine especially. They're stressed out. There's too much going on. And so they turn to that for like relaxation or comfort. And that's something that we try to go away from.
Yeah.
But that's a big one with the weight gain. Drinking more and just harder to lose weight.
Well, it is. It's a really tough time. It is. I've been through it. And you have to make a choice at that time. Because like you said, life is, you just can't do the same things. And so you've got two choices. You can keep going down this path. And I mean, eventually you'll probably create like a condition, whether it's diabetes 2, because insulin resistance is a deal. It really is.
Yeah.
Or you kind of pull yourself by the bootstraps and you start taking that journey, and it does not happen overnight.
Yeah.
But you start taking that journey and you start to, okay, I'm going to go make a 180 on my life. Yeah.
And when they come work with me, I just ask them to have patience, because you want that quick change.
Yeah, they do.
But it's got to be, it takes time, because we're making lifestyle changes that we want to be sustainable. So
yeah, absolutely. And with that, come back next week, because we're going to talk about all the healings and the solutions that Mandy provides all of her clients.
Where can you watch KPAO Community Television? You know, the channel with all of the local shows. If you live in the Omaha area, Cox Channel 22 HD is your place. If you prefer streaming, go to kpaoTVOmaha.org. And now, if you have the Apple TV box, grab our app and watch us there. KPAO on cable, streaming live, and now on Apple TV.
Did you know there's a link between diabetes and cardiovascular disease? If you have diabetes, you're more likely to have risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease, including obesity and high blood pressure. Take steps today to reduce your risk for cardiovascular disease, manage your A1C, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels, develop or maintain healthy lifestyle habits, and learn ways to manage stress. Take medicines as prescribed by your doctor. Stop smoking or using other tobacco products. Take diabetes to heart. Visit niddk.nih.gov to learn more.
Prediabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not yet high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. More than 1 in 3 U.S. adults have prediabetes, but most don't know they have it, and there are usually no symptoms. Making healthy lifestyle changes can make a difference. You can prevent or delay type 2 diabetes, and you can even manage or reverse your prediabetes. Visit niddk.nih.gov to learn more.
KPAO Community Television. It has something new.
Okay, let's talk. What are we making today? Because we're using peppers.
All of your favorite shows
For the dish, I'm Pam Weeks.
are available no matter where you are.
And Marjorie, it's so good to see you.
KPAO on the go. Go to kpaoTVOmaha.org. All of your favorites now streaming.
Hi everybody, my name is Susan and I am your functional nutritionist. I'm with Ahava FN, and it is my mission to educate the public on healthier food choices, because we cannot change our lifestyles and we cannot thrive in vitality unless you know what you're putting in your body and what your body is absorbing. And so before we go into the sensible substitution part of the episode, I have to get on my soapbox for a little bit. There's an epidemic. There's an epidemic of sugar overload in our systems, and it is creating so much havoc within our body. It's creating joint pain. It's creating inflammation. Those 3 o'clock fatigue crashes, probably because of too much sugar in your system. I'm not going to go into the scientific background, but the science is there to back it up. And Forbes put out this study, and it's pretty interesting. They say that we are ingesting per year 3,550 pounds of sugar, which can fill an industrial-sized dumpster. Oh my gosh, that is a crazy amount for our body to absorb. Our bodies are not used to ingesting this much sugar. The FDA says that we should only have this amount of sugar per day. And when you break down that 3,500 a year sugars that we're ingesting, it comes to about 39 teaspoons, which is this right here. That's 39 teaspoons of sugar a day. That's not even a can of Coke. A can of Coke has more sugar than that. So you can just imagine what you're doing to your body when you're putting this much sugar into it. And it is just creating so much havoc and chaos, and it can lead into, you know, type 2 diabetes and the inflammation that can further create more conditions that are just not healthy for us. So you're saying, well, Susan, what can I do? Well, that's where I want to help you. And so with sensible substitutions. One, I'm going to recommend you get rid of this. You get rid of this white refined sugar. It's yummy and it's good and it lights up our brain, but it is so bad for our body. So just get rid of pantry. We're not going to even look at it. So then you won't even be tempted to cook with it. But these are some great substitutes that you can use. And this is a coconut sugar. A coconut sugar, the reason why it has a little bit more nutrients and it has a little bit more minerals in it, so it's going to slow down your digestion of that refined sugar. And it's just a little bit better and a little bit healthier for you. And you can basically substitute one for one. So instead of using that refined sugar, I would use this. And as I said, these are baby steps to start going in the direction to really reducing your sugar intake. Another great one is monk fruit. It's very sweet, it's very fine, but it's also a one-to-one, and it is a great substitute you can use. We have honey. I would recommend a local honey because it will help. It can actually help with your allergies. There's some studies shows that can help with your allergies. So honey is great, and there's a lot of great honey farms, especially in the Nebraska area, that you can just go and see what all their flavors and what their honey is about. A great substitute, maple syrup. I would make it a grade A maple syrup, a fantastic substitute. Stevia is another substitute that you can use. So there's several options out there to get rid of this refined sugar and start reducing it. And if you even had to take a little bit, even a more baby step, you're like, Susan, I'm not ready to get rid of that sugar. I love the taste too much. Then maybe you do, let's say you put sugar in your coffee, you put a tablespoon, maybe you put a half a tablespoon of refined sugar and then a half a tablespoon of coconut sugar. And then you can slowly move over to 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. And then you can move over to reduce the coconut sugar as you go down the path. It's all about baby steps. It's all about understanding what you are putting in your mouth and the choices that you make. Again, my name is Susan and I'm with Ahava FN, and I just want to bring you sensible substitutions, solutions to your world so you can make better choices.